The hashtag Jake Weddle and Free Nathan Weddle have permeated Twitter, hence why I got off the platform. This this dude is saying what?
Nathan Weddle became a member.
I'm just imagining a comedy show, right? He's doing his set, he's doing his performance, and you just hear, Free Nathan Weddle. What? Free Nathan Weddle from the other side of the room. Huh? Free Nathan Weddle from over there. Free Nathan Weddle. It gets more constant, louder, louder, louder. And then, before you know it, a bunch of people in the crowd stand up. Free Nathan Weddle! Free Nathan Weddle! Jake Weddle is a sad clown who honks his nose and has wilted flower in his hat. Here we go. Here we go. Also, as some of you know, the online harassment I've received has kicked up dramatically since Jimmy went on his I Did Nothing Wrong tour. The hashtag Rape Jake Weddle and Free Nathan Weddle have permeated Twitter, hence why I got off the platform. Bro, this dude is saying, what? It's literally the worst thing you can do. This is going to send the people that say that shit into a frenzy. Me included. I've said this a couple of times because it's funny, okay? But you're literally just paying attention to the fucking trolls at this point by saying shit like this. All for a victim Andy narrative. Also, this guy is such a fucking liar. It's unbelievable, right? Everything he is presenting is in the service of painting him as some innocent victim who has done nothing wrong. But it's completely stripped of any context of what's happened, such as
that's wonderful.
the pressure.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
If only Jake joined that swim team.
Okay, thank you for the $10. The pressure that was being put on Hellbent, the gay ops, all of that is stripped out, and it's just he's a victim, and nothing's happened, and he's just all of a sudden getting a load of shit on the internet. Like, bro, you were participating in threats against a smaller YouTuber to sue them, and trying to big dog them, you know, fronting that you've got this legal team that you're going to be dealing with. That's fucked. That is totally fucked, you know? And if, bro, could you imagine if Mr. Beast was like leaning on a smaller YouTuber about legal pressure? I wonder what his take was on the legal threat against Dogpack, by the way. I mean, Jake Weddles. But in any case, you know that if Mr. Beast had engaged or participated in a similar behavior to what he and his girlfriend had, he'd be fucking spitting feathers. But, you know, because he's in the driving seat, he's the one on top, I guess that's not a problem, you know? Anyway, I might watch a bit. I'm not going to watch all of it. I'll watch the first 5 minutes, but I'm not going to watch the whole thing, no. I'm not going to subject you to that, okay? Rules for thee, but not for me. Yes, exactly. Other creators have infiltrated and recorded my audience for the purpose of making content out of generating more drama. Lame, cringe, bad, and illegal. Okay. I mean, is it illegal? I don't know if it's illegal. That seems quite an excessive claim, and it's based on quite a narrow reading of like UK law. When I think that there's plenty of arguments of like a journalistic interest in doing so, right? Because, and maybe you could argue that the other person in the call maybe shouldn't have been included at all. I think there's like a couple of lines that they say, a couple of words that they say. But recording that and broadcasting publicly, you saying stupid, cringe, lame shit yourself about Rosanna, like claiming the FBI had oversight over her content. I mean, that's, you know, in my opinion, in the public interest. Listen, Nathan Weddle is a chudlogic viewer. I don't know what to tell you, okay? Nathan, you stay away from that swim team, okay? You don't you be doing any funny business, okay? We're watching you. I say all this to say, none of you can get on stage like this. None of you can perform stand-up for 5 minutes, let alone 30. None can do this. But I'd love to see you try. What's funny about this is one of the biggest critics of him recently being Hellbent. Hellbent has done stand-up comedy themselves. So it's like, it's not even true. It's not even true. I'm sure there's some people, you know, that wouldn't be able to do a performance like this. But there's one person that is a critic, that already does this, has done this, you know? But I'd love to see you try. This special means a lot to me because it shows all of you hate-filled morons what you'll never be able to accomplish. Be funny in front of a real live audience. Lol, you can't. But you could be angry dumbass behind a screen. That's more fitting. Stay behind the screen. It's where you belong. I've made the right enemies. People who spread vile shit like this online shouldn't be in my corner. I find you all a lot more cringe than me, and that says a lot. But all you do is show your lack of empathy and frankly broadcast to the world that you are sad, stupid, lonely, and need friends or a hobby that isn't saying slurs to each other online. And then, really, the icing on the cake for me. Anyway, have fun jerking each other off in your vile Discord lobbies. Are those the Discord lobbies that your girlfriend joined on alts to try and run gay ops? Is that those Discords that you're talking about? Like, it's just so funny. Like how disingenuous this is. To totally strip away any of the context of what's happened over the past week or so, and then just act like the full victim. You know, and I get it. He doesn't want to admit that his girlfriend is like an embarrassing bitch. I understand that, right? But it's very dishonest, I think, to strip that out and act like you're just a pure victim in all of this. You know, I mean, has Jake Weddle, like, meaningfully publicly spoken about the fact he was putting pressure on a tiny YouTube channel to take a video down? You know? It's like, it's so dishonest. This is a dishonest way of operating. It's not an error. What do you mean? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's an intentional omission. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. So yeah, it just comes across as, you know, very, very disingenuous, like a kind of lie by omission, you know, painting yourself as the victim. And listen, guys, in seriousness, okay? Now look, have I utilized some of this terminology that he's complaining about? Yes, I have, because it's funny. Okay? It's very funny and it clearly bothers him, and I find that very amusing. Now, that being said, I can understand Jake Weddle not liking the fact that people are talking about hashtag rape Jake.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Nathan Weddle became a member.
That is literally the worst time to do it as well. When I'm just making a condemnation of this. Hypocritically, I would say. Thank you, Nathan Weddle, for the membership. I appreciate that. Okay. Anyway, what I was saying was, I can understand Jake not liking that, not liking Rape Jake Weddle, not liking Free Nathan Weddle, and wanting to take a step away from it. Okay? It's obviously inadvisable, I think, to comment on it because people are going to do it more. But nonetheless, I get that, right? But it just shows the dishonesty and you know, the lie at the heart of his character.
Aaron Hate gifted a tier 1 sub to Jake Weddle. This is their first gift sub in the channel.
Thank you for the sub, appreciate it. But it's like, you know, I hate to use myself as an example, but I don't know anyone else that's really covered this as much as I have, because obviously I was somewhat involved in it. But it's like, I would always be sure to mention the fact that you've got these people that are saying crazy things, right? Like the Free Nathan Weddle, Rape Jake Weddle stuff. But I feel like it's important to include that context so that people can at least assess it and see, okay, well, you know, you can kind of see their side of it, if you like, right? Why they might be bothered by something. But when it's the other way around, it's like there's none of it. He doesn't talk about any of it and just completely ignores it. Which, you know, if he doesn't want to talk about it, that's fine. But then don't talk about it at all. Like, to talk about it and only present your side of it, like you're a pure victim. And you and your girlfriend haven't engaged in behavior that is getting you justified and rightful criticism. It's just exceptionally dishonest to me, you know? That being said, let's watch 5 minutes of his stand-up. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. How's it doing anyway? The big release. The big release, guys. Let's have a look. Oh dear. Guys. It ain't looking too rich, to be honest. It ain't looking too good. 22 hours, 1.6k views. Damn, looks like people really are not feeling the Jake Weddle comedy vibe, to be honest with you. Watch 5 minutes only. 5 minutes only. Fair use. Okay?
So when you come to a comedy show, there's a lot of times where the host will like come up here and introduce a comic. They'll be like, "Give it up for a good friend of mine." This next comic is actually a really good friend of mine. I want you guys to give a big round of applause for all the way from New York, Jake Weddle, everybody.
Woo, go on, Jake. Go on, mate.
Give it up for Jake, everybody.
I'm not singing it. I can't do Jack White. No, I was living in New York for the past 3 years. I hated it. Oh God, it's so good to be back. I love being back. There's backyards here. That's awesome. No, I was living in New York where I had like 6 roommates and like half a bathroom, and like I thought I was making like decent-ish money, you know, like I'm from here, so my mom's from North Carolina, so I was making more money than my mom, but my mom had more money.
Comedy is when you talk in a fuck voice and struggle to speak. I mean, listen, okay, I'm trying to take it all in. I'm trying to be fair here, but I mean, it's a bit of a rough start. Let's be real.
Money than me. Does that make sense? You know, like where I was living, like eggs were $10, you know, but back home they just come out of chickens. So late laugh, love that, hell yeah. Yeah, no, I did go to my first New York baseball game. That was a lot of fun. And at that game, I noticed they're still doing the kiss cam.
I mean, how long has this guy been doing stand-up for? Hasn't he been doing it for years? I mean, he's invested all the money in it from the Mr. Beast stuff. And this is the output. This is big comedy special. And he's like, can't even get a joke out properly. He's stumbling over his words. You know. And it's real. I don't think it's an act. I don't think he's doing the sort of self-deprecating, I'm a nervous comedian act. I think he genuinely is extremely anxious here. And listen, guys. It's fine to be anxious. I was very anxious on my first stream. All right, very nervous, figuring it out. But the point is, this guy has been doing this for years at this point, I believe. And he's bragging about what a fucking skilled operator he is, that he's able to go and do this. And it's like, bro, you're like stumbling over your words. You're like falling at the first hurdle here, you know?
You guys, what the?
Is it the kiss can? I mean, listen, you might have heard it before. To be fair, comedians do a routine, and often they'll repeat jokes. It's fine to do that, especially in a comedy special, okay?
Game. That was a lot of fun. And at that game, I noticed they're still doing the kiss cam. You guys, what the? You guys cool with that? Like, what kind of casting couch bullshit? Like, whose job is it? You know, during an entire baseball game to be surveying the audience with a camera, and he's like, oh, fuck yeah.
This is not a repeat, this is a clip from the trailer. No, he's done this joke in another set before. I've seen it before. But it's not this, it's something else.
Them. Put that on the screen for everybody. Like, anybody who volunteers for that job shouldn't get it, I think. And I realized I looked like that guy. Like, that's fine, you know? Yeah. I realized what vibe I'm giving off, you know? I looked like I was going for like a rugged hipster thing.
I mean, I've said this before about this joke. There's something in there. There's something funny in there. Right? There's something good in there. The idea, it is an absurd concept when you break it down like that. And there's some comedy to be had there. But it's like, you know, like he hasn't really developed it since he told it months ago in that other clip that we saw. Do you know what I mean? It's like the same thing. He's not workshopped it, developed it, moved it forward. It's just the same thing again, basically. You know, and good comedians will work on a routine and work on a joke, and it'll develop over time, you know, and then improve it and make it better, you know? But he's clearly just like resting on his laurels here. It's already peak.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
This is like if Jerry Seinfeld and Michael Richards had a baby and also sucked at comedy.
Okay, dude. Thank you for the $5.
Ended up getting pedophile's intern. I get it. You know?
Oh, wait, hang on a sec. Pedophile joke. Maybe this is good.
You know, yeah. I realized what vibe I'm giving off, you know? I looked like I was going for like a rugged hipster thing. Ended up getting pedophile's intern. I get it. You know? I look like I set up the Wi-Fi on Epstein's Island, you know?
Oh, no, we have seen this bit before. So, yeah, the clip we saw is that and this, right? Okay, I mean, that's, you know, that's not that. That's okay, I think. The thing I find obnoxious is he's like bragging, sucking himself off about what an amazing guy he is for being able to do this. And it's like, I mean, it's not even mediocre. It's like less than mediocre. You know, it's just so weird to brag about what like a performance as shitty as this. You know, just be a bit more humble, you know, and stop worrying about the trolls. Like, he's obsessed with these trolls. And it's funny, actually, because I was looking for the post that I just showed, the more recent Instagram stuff. And in doing so, I found my own post about this guy from September. You know? And it's like, yeah. Like, he's just continued down this arc, hasn't he? The lolcow arc. You know, I'm sucking myself off a bit with my own tweet here. But do you know what I mean? It's like, the signs were there in how I was acting here. You know? And he just continues to behave like this, up to and including this post here. I mean, it's just embarrassing. It's totally embarrassing, you know? To brag so hard about this. These people don't realize that the more they engage with this shit online, the more it will show up when you search for their real life shit. Yeah, like that, the RJW and the FNW stuff, you could just ignore. You could easily ignore, and it would soon die off because people would get, you know, bored of it. But the fact he responds to it, I mean, that post in and of itself is probably going to lead to like another month of people banging on about it, you know? Lex in his slow car shop shit, she's talking about a 2-hour chudlogic stream on a slow car shop YouTube channel. It's totally absurd. Yeah.
The password is Quentin. I changed the punchline of that joke.
All right, we're halfway through.
Okay. I know who's here. No, but I got a bad vibe. You know, I get it. People always come up to me and they ask me one of two things. They always ask me, "Are you gay?"
Okay, that's wonderful.
And are you
How do I
on?
make money off depressed people?
I edit this into Nathan Weddle, make it a high school game. The comedy is watching him spurg when you send it to him.
I want to see, you know that clip of the guy coming out dancing, the rap guy or whatever, and he gets AI'd into everyone. I think it's been like Hitler and all sorts. I want to see Nathan Weddle doing that, the AI dance thing. That's what I want to see right now.
Go. My answer to both is not right now. Men's bathroom.
Okay, listen, I need to go back. I need to be fair. I need to listen to the whole joke.
I changed the punchline of that joke depending on the room, okay? I know who's here. No, but I got a bad vibe. You know, I get it. People always come up to me and they ask me one of two things. They always ask me, "Are you gay?" And "Are you on coke?" And my answer to both is not right now. Men's bathroom. You know, you do a self-deprecative joke and you go, "All right, that's enough." You know, like, I'm not gay. I know that. I know I'm straight, but I did try. You know, I gave it 2, hearty tries and 1 half hearty. You know, like I know for a fact. I know.
I mean, also the other thing to point out here as well is it's not just like, you know, there was the thing of something you just said there that was okay. That's like not so bad. There's something there. I think a bit more development and workshopping. Yeah, you probably would have something there. But it's not just me saying it, right? I'm not just a hater.
Wonderful. But how
right?
do I make money?
Genuinely trying to
off
be fair
depressed
here,
people?
right?
Isn't this the same loser who thinks he can give Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle advice on what good comedy is?
Yeah, well, he makes videos about it at least. But I mean, he does a comedy workshop, so he thinks he's in a place to educate others. I mean, he is clearly very egotistical over this stuff, despite his little self-deprecating act. But I mean, bro, like this got posted onto YouTube Drama. Jake Weddle talks about the harassment he's been facing online. For a stand-up comedian, he has surprisingly thin skin. Yeah, fair comment. Fair comment. I like Jake for exposing Jimmy, but his stand-up comedy is garbage. I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even go that far with it. God, these people are savage. And these are his people, generally speaking. You know, this is the YouTube Drama community who normally would think would be more on his side. I mean this with respect. Jake isn't a funny comedian, in my opinion. If he wasn't tied up with Mr. Beast, he wouldn't have a platform or even have the opportunities he has now. This in no way means he deserved the treatment he got or the repeated treatment he gets now. That being said, it does feel as though he is trying to turn this time exposing Mr. Beast into profit for himself. I mean, that's just facts. Wait a second. I'm just imagining. Comedy show. Right? He's doing his set. He's doing his performance. And you just hear, free Nathan Weddle. What? Free Nathan Weddle from the other side of the room. Huh? Free Nathan Weddle from over there. Free Nathan Weddle. It gets more constant. Louder, louder, louder. And then, before you know it, a bunch of people in the crowd stand up. Free Nathan Weddle! Free Nathan Weddle! Free Nathan Weddle! And then it just every single show he does. I'm not advocating for this. I don't believe in harassment in real life, okay?
But how do I make
I'm not saying you should do this, to be clear.
People?
Good jokes usually have build-up and punchline comes from somewhere you don't expect. It just sounds like he's reading Reddit jokes.
Thank you for the super chat. I'm just you know, presenting an absurdist scenario for the sake of comedy, okay? But every single show he goes to, he gets the free Nathan Weddle movement. And it grows to such a level that there's like press interviews about it. You know, they're talking about Nathan Weddle being a political prisoner, stuff like that. 6217, I believe you might be interested in something like that. But don't do it. That's bad, okay? That's bad. It just follows him around all his comedy shows. That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? That'd be terrible. I disavow. To be fair, I think anyone would be off-put by a public call to rape them and release their sex offender father from prison. Okay? Fair comment. Don't necessarily disagree with that. Let's see what this guy's got to say in response. Stand-up comedy is one of the toughest, most competitive fields out there. If an aspiring comedian gets upset that people are criticising them and making fun of them, they are not going to last long. They don't give out participation trophies in stand-up. Also, Jake will need some actually funny jokes if he wants to succeed, but I digress. I mean, it doesn't really address the key point. I think it's fine to be bothered by that. It's the constant focus in addressing it that's the issue. And he could just ignore it and nothing would happen, you know? I mean, if you actually look at the people that are posting it, I mean, admittedly, guys, hands up, I've myself participated in it because it's funny, okay? But, you know, not even begrudgingly. I've done it winningly and happily because it's hilarious, okay? But, you know, it is obviously reasonable to be bothered by it. It's just the fact he keeps paying attention to it. Just literally ignore it. Just ignore it. That's all you got to do. And then it would go away, you know? But when you tell people that it bothers you, it makes people want to do it more, you know? But yeah, very cringe.
I'm not into that because I tested it, you know? It's, you know, these dudes who are like, oh, no, gross. Never in a million years. Absolutely not. Never. Ew. What, are you scared you're going to fucking like it? I'm the straightest guy in the fucking room, okay?
Okay, that's pretty weak. I mean, that is just like bread and butter shit, isn't it? Oh, you don't wanna try being gay because I mean that's just like that's the kind of thing you'd hear on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? And this is comedy special. This is supposed to be his best presentation, his best jokes, his best performance, and he's got like shitter tier progressive jokes about being gay. I mean, come on, dude. You know, you're bragging so much about your act. Don't you want to fucking put on a better show?
No, dating's tough. Alright. You know, I gotta try to figure out what my type was. Yeah, I think I figured it out. Apparently my type is almost lesbian. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like edgy bi women who almost exclusively date other women. And they'll tell me, they go, Jake, okay, well, relax.
Okay, that was good. The lesbian stuff's a bit lame. Okay, but that was a good reaction to that that was good. That was a good little bit of, it bounced off the crowd.
Yeah, they tell me, you know, Jake, normally I don't date men because they're too aggressive and masculine. But not you, Jake. No, Jake, you like to drink wine and cry. You don't give off big dick energy. You give off little spoon energy, actually.
I mean, it's fine. It's not like, it's just very like this is his comedy special apparently, and this is what he's bringing to the table. It's just this kind of like lame self-deprecation. Oh yeah, I'm just basically a soy loser, and I don't like it. It's not for me. Maybe there's an audience for it out there, but I just don't personally like it, and then I just think it's quite low tier for what is supposed to be your comedy special, you know? Just, yeah. Just, oh, I'm a total loser, by the way. Self-deprecating joke. Like, it's been done. Like, what new cutting-edge stuff is he bringing to the table here, you know? Someone just repeatedly saying the N-word loudly for an hour, I think would be bringing more to the table in terms of like avant-garde subversive comedy than whatever the fuck this is supposed to be. Just making endless self-deprecating jokes about being a fucking loser.
Played a bet. There was one girl, and she had her hand on my back just like this, and she said, "Right here, you feel just like a woman." I didn't know what to say, so I just kind of looked up longingly and played with her armpit hair. You know how you? I love doing that joke.
I mean, this sort of material is exactly why the Sam Hyde bit where he goes and just talks about HIV statistics and calls these gay men hypersexual you-know-whats. It's like, that's where that comes from. The fact that this is the kind of, you know, alternative, the modern alternative in these sorts of comedy scenes. You know, soy bugmen beta males just self-deprecating for 30 minutes, you know?
Because I'll be in the South and everyone's like, "Oh, no!" Yeah. I did that joke in Brooklyn. They're like, "I don't get it." What do you mean? I'm fine. No, I was actually recently the only straight white guy at a party. Right fucking up top, brother. Which, first of all, it's me and that guy. First of all, I'm not good at parties. Clearly, you know? Like.
Wow, another self-deprecating joke. You know, the subject of which is your manhood or masculinity, or like, it's just endless, isn't it? A bit of self-deprecation's fine, but it's like, it's never ending with this guy.
I got a lot of emotional baggage, you know? Like, that's not good at a party. Like, I'll be at a party, and someone will come up to me and be like, "Oh my god, is that tequila? Don't get me tequila. Tequila makes me get naked." And I'll just be like, "Tequila makes my dad angry." It's a bad vibe at a party. But I was the only straight white guy at the party, and I go take a group photo. I'm in the group photo, you know? I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I go back to my friend, and my friend goes, "Jake, were you in that photo?" And I was like, "Yeah, what?" He goes, "Right before they took that photo, they said, 'Lesbians only!'" And nobody stopped me, you know? Not even think mustache in the room. You're fine, get in here, come on. I'm in that photo like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining, you know?
Okay, we've seen enough. I'm not watching the whole thing. 5 minutes of Jake Weddle's comedy is enough for me, I think. Do you want material about your dad being a pedo, a pedophilic child molester? That's the good shit right there. Come on, dude. Well, I think that, you know... Okay, this is just... I've said a brain blast, okay? A literal blast just entered my brain, right? I wonder if in some of these comedy scenes, there is a participation trophy element, and people either they are in a certain environment, they've drunk and feel a certain, you know, wanting to laugh. They want to laugh. They want to laugh because they're in the environment to do so, right? So that could be one aspect of it. But I think another aspect is an actual participation trophy element where people, out of a sort of pity or maybe even respect for someone being willing to do it, will kind of laugh. They'll make themselves laugh because it's like, oh, well, he's giving it a go, isn't he? You know? And I feel like there's some comedy scenes where it probably is more brutal and more savage. And if you are not funny, they will let you know. And you'll get the kind of like cold response, heckling, etc. But I can easily imagine that in some of these more progressively minded comedy circles, I would have imagined that there probably is an element of like, well, he's giving it a go, isn't he? You know, let's have a laugh at him. So yeah, that would be my guess. But then the other thing, look, to be totally fair, we're sat here miles away. You're watching through the lens of me. And obviously, you know, we're not a fan of this guy. So maybe if you were there, maybe you'd be laughing. I don't know. You know, just try and be reasonable about it. Like, there's an element here where we're engaging with this in a certain fashion that isn't really conducive to being entertained by it. You know, we're sort of breaking it down. I mean, I've paused loads of times. You know, I don't think I would, to be fair. I don't think I would. You know, to be clear. But I'm just saying, you know, let's not judge, you know, some aspects of this too harshly. I think he fucking sucks, obviously, but yeah. Anyway, there we go. That is the Jake Weddle updates. Pretty rough response. I mean, you've got a free to view comedy special from someone that has recently been in, you know, massive public controversy. 184,000 subs, and it's got 1.7k views after 22 hours. So nearly a day, and it's not even cracked 2k. I mean, that is pretty dire, isn't it? Ain't no one watching your comedy, bro. What are the comments like? Do not tell me you guys have been on here, okay? Funny stuff. Holy shit, this is amazing. It looks like it's mainly his fans, so people are saying it's good. But then obviously we've got the true takes from the Reddit post. Anyway, there we go. There's your Weddle updates, okay? I disavow any attempts to brigade his comments. I do not agree. Brigading is bad, guys. Brigading is bad, okay? Well, I presume that the Free Nathan Weddle movement is probably being censored, which is fair enough. It's his own comment section. Listen, guys, if he doesn't want to read comments about the idea of freeing his pedophile father, then I can't really blame him for that, you know? Although, you know, I think many of us here would just not have a pedophile father. That sounds like a kind of a skill issue to me, to be honest. Right. Okay, guys. Dude, it's fucking 6:30 already. Jesus.